I'm a dietetics student at UW South doing my master's in nutrition and dietetics. And today what I'm gonna do is a recipe, actually two recipes. One is a sauce and one is falafel. And we're gonna see how to make them in a healthy way instead of the traditional way that we usually cook them. One thing I want to let you know is that this is based on the PowerPoint that I discussed previously about the My Plate food groups, where we discussed that we need a variety of foods. We need fruits, we need vegetables, we need grains, we need protein and dairy. So after I'm done with this recipe, there's a flyer that shows you a meal that you can include this recipe with additional stuff in order to meet the nutrient standards for one meal. So you need to do that for 3 meals because you need 3 meals per day. Okay, so the first one is going to be the falafel recipe. And the falafel recipe is handed out as a flyer with the instructions and the ingredients and all that. And this is what we're going to do right now, okay? So falafel are very rich in protein and fiber. So they're not high in fat, they're very healthy, and they're very filling. So the way we're gonna do falafel, or the healthy modification we're gonna do, is instead of frying the falafel, which is the usual way we do it, we're gonna be baking the falafel. And I made some food samples over there for you to try and see how they taste like, but it literally tastes very similar to the fried ones. It's just way healthier. So the thing is also that I added less salt in the falafel, and I used whole wheat flour instead of the refined flour to increase the fiber and vitamins and minerals. So the way we're gonna do this, if you can all see over here, is we're gonna bring 1 cup of dried chickpeas. You'll tell me this is more than a cup. This is because this is soaked chickpeas. If this was dried, they would be 3 times less the size. So they increase in size. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna open our blender, right? So this is the chickpeas added there. We're gonna add some onions, which I have already sliced. And we're gonna add it to our blender. There we go. And we're also gonna add some parsley and cilantro. Which we got over here. So chickpea is high in protein, and then we have vegetables in there. And then we're also gonna add some garlic. So over here, just open. You can put 3. I usually like to put more than 3 just to give it more taste. But it really is up to you. And then we're also gonna add the spices, which are in the recipe. I just mixed them all together here. They're cumin, كمون, salt, milk, cardamom, حب الهيل, and the black pepper, بهار الأسود, cayenne pepper, حل. They're all in there, and then we're just gonna add this whole in.
And you could buy the mix from the Arab stores.
Right. Oh, you can always buy these all from Arab stores. I also got them with me just to show you. This is cardamom, this is cumin, this is chili, which is had, and salt and black pepper. So for the salt, just add 1 turn, not more than that, to reduce the salt content. I'm going to turn on the blender. It's going to be a bit annoying for the ear. It won't take a lot of time. We don't want this to be liquid, so we're just going to be turning it a little bit more. That's it. So you're going to have a texture like this. Alright, so it's not like liquidy, it's kind of coarse, and this is how it looks like. And then we're going to add a mixture in there. And this isn't done yet, okay? This is the first part of the recipe. We're going to add So whole wheat flour,
Good.
unlike the refined white flour, as you can see, is different in color. بني أكتر من الأبيض.
مش منفع.
Why? Because it has more fiber and they don't remove the bran as we discussed before in the presentation. So that's why its color is different.
Yeah.
But it does the same thing. It helps the mixture stay all together. So we add that in. And then we're also gonna add some baking soda.
What kind of dish do you make?
Falafel.
Oh.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Falafel, our traditional recipe, but just in a healthier way. Alright, and then we're gonna mix this all together. So the baking soda is to make the falafel more fluffy, that's why we add it. But then you're just gonna mix it. Of course, when you do this at home, you're gonna need to use your hands a bit because you want the whole flour to go in every grain of falafel there is. So you have to wear gloves or you have to wash your hands very well and make sure that you are not contaminating it with anything else. Just like that. So the way we're doing this is we're basically just taking a little bit of falafel, just like this. It doesn't need water. If you add water, it will break it. It doesn't need it. Alright. So we're just gonna do this and then we're gonna add the falafel. So you can make the same recipe without using dried chickpeas if it's more convenient for you, because I understand that people don't have time and it would be more convenient to actually use canned chickpeas instead of dried chickpeas. Since canned chickpeas are already cooked and already soaked, they're already retaining a lot of water. So you're gonna have to use, so if you're using 1 cup of dried chickpeas, which is what the recipe calls for, then you're gonna have to use double amount for canned chickpeas because they're gonna be larger sizes and they're gonna have more water in them. So instead of using 1 cup dried chickpeas, you can use 2 cups canned chickpeas. And then also if you're using canned chickpeas, because they retain water, it can make the mixture more creamy and more liquidy. So to make it more firm, you can add more flour to it. So it's always like that. If the mixture isn't firm, you add flour. If the mixture is very dry, then you add more lemon juice or water. So. Also, you can do one thing, which is instead of just putting this and baking it with some brushing oil on it, just to make it more firm. You can also add some breadcrumbs on top of the falafel. So you can brush them with oil, then sprinkle breadcrumbs on top, because that way it will become crispier. If you want a more crispier version, you can add breadcrumbs. That's something I think that would be a helpful tip to use baking instead of frying, because that's what frying does. It makes it more crispier. Just slightly brushing the balls, just like that. Just like that. So lightly brushing instead of frying. Then frying, what happens is that the falafel soaks the oil. But this is just lightly brushing. Again, you can sprinkle breadcrumbs on top of this to make it more crispy when it's baking. It is really up to you. Dabbing it with some olive oil. For the baking these, you can leave them in the fridge for 3 to 4 days for consumption. 3 to 4 days for consumption. And you can also put unbaked falafel in the freezer for up to 1 month if you want to cook it later. So, or if you want to do bulk amounts. You want to keep little tricky. I have to keep an eye on. And this is gonna stay 25 to 30 minutes. sesames I bought, which is 20 ounce and 4 ounces, 24 ounces, almost 3 cups of sesame seeds. These you have to first roast them. Simple. I bought these from Amazon because they come in bulky amounts. If you're getting this from grocery shops, they usually come like spices, which are smaller size and they cost more. So I would recommend bringing these from Amazon or from an Arabic supermarket. They usually have them also at reduced prices. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 cups. So I have measuring cups over here. And we're gonna roast them over low to medium heat and just for 5 minutes. Trust me. I did this for 10 minutes and they turned brown and they tasted bitter when I blended them. So you don't want to do it too much. So we're gonna do this for 5 minutes. I'm seeing that over here there's a discussion who wants to roast them. So it needs constant mixing. Yeah, I think it's like there we go. Okay, medium low heat. Okay. Cucumbers, tomatoes, you can also add lettuce in your pita bread. You can also add some mixed vegetables, whatever you want, whatever you feel like makes the falafel really delicious. And then after you do the sandwich, on the side you can have some mixed vegetables. I put the quantities over here because I did a nutrient analysis and it told me it's a half a cup mixed vegetables. Half cup mixed vegetables, a banana, and 1 cup of milk, 1%, with the falafel and the tahina. That way you will get all the nutrients you need in one meal. What we're gonna do to modify the recipe is instead of just adding olive oil, we're gonna add some lemon juice, some garlic, and some cilantro. So this isn't the way the traditional way this is done. I'm actually adding garlic because it has anti-inflammatory properties. Lemon juice because it adds vitamin C and gives a zesty flavor. And also I'm adding cilantro because it's an antioxidant and rich in fiber. So we're adding this. What's better to do now that we're doing this fast, you should let the sesame seeds to cool before adding them to the blender. But because we don't have time, I'm just doing it right now. And then a little bit of olive oil.
First button?
حتى فيكم تزيدوا الزيت أكتر. الزيت كمان بيخليها تمسك على بعض، بس أنا ما عاد في بقى. عم نحول المية. في زيت؟ ما انتبهت. الزيت دايما كثير مفيد وقت يكون منه مطبوخ، لأنه وقت تدخل الزيت بتغير من جوا مكوناته وما بتعد مكونات منيحة لصحة القلب. Becomes more saturated when you and hydrogenated when you cook it. This makes 1 cup of the recipes. Time to make sandwiches. So, but before we make sandwiches, what did we learn from this recipe? The falafel and the tahina. What did we modify? How did we make them healthier?
For the falafel, to bake it instead of frying it.
Right, and then for the tahina sauce?
Tahina, that you can make it from scratch, like by using sesame seeds.
No, that's the original way to do it. What we did different is we added cilantro, which isn't usually added to tahina. It's usually just olive oil and sesame seeds.
Yeah, you get it white from the store.
Right.
So it's going to be different than the one we made.
Right. So that's the healthy modification we made is that we added vegetables. We added cilantro. We also added.
Making it at home.
Right. That's what we did. And then also we added some lemon juice. We don't usually add lemon juice to tahina. We added garlic. So these are the modifications we made to make it healthier. So this is here. And it also has only vegetables are here, I'll open the cases.